Hello all my minifigs, I am Bmanlegoboy and thank you very much for clicking on this video. And today guys, we are here at the Judith A. Bassett Canid Education and Conservation Center and we are about to meet some very special foxes. So without further ado guys, I don't want to talk anymore, so let's just cut away to when we're meeting these guys because this has been something I've been wanting to do for my whole life. So here we go. Alright guys, we're sitting down here at this fox rescue place and they're about to bring them out. This is going to be very, very cool. So here we go.
Well, hello, you handsome little dude. So beautiful. How pretty is that?
This is Victor.
He's checking out.
Victor, you're very handsome.
Sit. Hey.
Hi, Victor.
Camera back. Say hi, Vic.
Looking.
Just give me the treat.
Oh,
Stop making me pose.
Exactly. Give me the treat.
Victor likes to be scratched.
Oh, does he?
So we'll show you as soon as he's done with his
Put your
treat.
hand out.
Don't be choking on it. That's not a good thing.
Remember to chew, Vic.
We have to tell my dog that too, so
Hey,
he's
buddy.
not
Here
alone.
you go. Yeah, it's a good boy. There you go.
Hello.
So he really likes it if you give him a good,
Yeah.
especially if you have nails. If you
Oh,
can.
I do.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
shedding too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Is he a Russian or an American?
This is American.
No, he's Russian.
Oh, he is?
yeah,
I
if
thought
he
the
was
red ones were
American, you would not be doing this.
touching.
No.
No.
Hello, beautiful.
I hate people like
You can touch him, Brian. If
their
you want.
fur.
Exactly.
Hi, buddy.
I don't know.
I know.
You're a
There's so
handsome
many
boy.
fur farms still in the United States. It shocks me that, you know.
Well, we go to a place up in Canada. We have a trailer in the big screen room, and there was a big mink farm up there, and they people that do, I guess, do rescue and conservation.
He
I
knows
guess
what
they
you're
know
talking
that's
about.
a
He's
big-
turning around. He's like, I don't think you should be talking about that, lady. I know what you're talking about.
Get it, but they opened up everything and let them all go free.
But yeah, so the problem
Oh,
with
you're
that
so
is they're not gonna
handsome.
survive.
All I know is
Then
we
you would
would
steal
You
them.
like the nails? My dogs do.
Our place is on the lake, and every once in a while we'd see the mink. Yes, it was like, look at that. It was down there, was taking the shell, was trying to eat it.
Victor. Victor's like, I'm not looking at
Yeah, he
you.
getting scratched. He's happy.
Yeah.
He's just
He's
like,
in
keep
love.
scratching
When
me.
he
That's
finds
what I
people with
want.
nails, he's always happy.
That should be me. I go over there.
Oh, yeah. He'll,
yeah.
he'll make his rounds.
Yeah.
We want to bring him to nail salons at some point. So
Oh, he'd be in his glory there.
Yep.
Just line them all up.
Just let me go down the line. I'll get scratched.
We joke about calling these massages with foxes, and people would think you're gonna like come here for a spa day, but no, it's
We've heard
Victor's
this-
I
massage.
was
We've
gonna
heard
say,
his
I was
nails
gonna
over
say,
here.
it's his spa day.
It's his spa day.
Oh, look at that. What do you think of that, buddy? Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, you have like the witch nails.
Oh, wow, Lauren.
But they're not black though. She
No,
does-
then I'm not going there. No.
Yeah, they're nice.
How
bright
does that
blue.
feel? My husband likes this too. He goes, "Could you scratch me with those nails we're paying for?" Right? Hey, look at you losing your hair, you poor little guy. Yeah.
He's grown it back though. He's working hard.
It's so pretty. Look at you. You're such a pretty boy. Yeah.
So he is one of, obviously you know, one of the natural colors you would find in foxes in the wild.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
They run through our backyard, so yeah.
Yes,
we
they
see-
do.
We see them occasionally. Not all the time, but I've had
A lot
foxes
of
run through my
people
backyard in North
A
Carolina.
lot of people that have chickens down where we are, forget
Oh
it.
yeah.
They like to get in and have a meal.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's one of. So
Sing-
that's a
singing
fox,
going
and then
on.
the singers are singing.
Listen to them singing.
I know.
That's hysterical. Oh my Lord.
He's got an itch.
Right. I mean, the thing is, when people
Wow.
have chickens, they just need to make coops that foxes can't get into.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a better solution
No
than trying
kidding.
to kill the foxes.
Well,
Yeah.
I know.
Because the foxes will kill mice and all these other things
Oh,
that
yes, they
will
will.
cause trouble for
Yep.
them as well.
Yes.
Well, the problem is not only the foxes, the raccoons,
Coyotes.
and you got the,
Coyotes.
The
the
owls.
hawks and all that.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, and forget it. So
By us,
Do
it's
they sing at
coyotes that
night?
are
and
getting
we
in
got
and eating them.
coyotes.
Do they sing at night?
Yeah.
No, they actually don't. They usually sing in the morning and then like the late afternoon. But because they know we're here.
That's why they're doing it.
But then all of a sudden they'll shut up and then they'll lay down. But
It's so funny.
it's like a song they sing and then boom, done.
Take any pictures?
Yeah, I'm taking pictures.
Yeah, well, you're taking video. I just wondered if you're
It's a
taking
vlog. There's a difference.
I would like a picture, is what I'm saying.
I can also take
'Cause we
screenshots,
want
you
to
know.
send them to some people so they could see it.
So Victor is about 3 years old. He's one of the 3 Russian foxes that we got specifically so we could have them be ambassadors for the center. And the reason why we got the Russian foxes is because you can have interactions like this. So if we did not have Russian foxes,
You couldn't.
we couldn't, because foxes are naturally very skittish and
Yes.
they have a very high, fight or flight response. And so even you'll meet our U.S. fox, Ishi, and we had her from the time that
Take
she
a
was
picture
6
right
weeks
there.
of age,
Yeah.
and yet she still does not enjoy. She
People
comes for
around.
the treats. She's fine and comfortable. She's about as good as you're going to get for an
Right.
American fox, but she's not. We don't let people touch her because she's just unpredictable. Where
Yeah.
these guys are.
And how long do they live?
They can live up to about 17 years in
Okay.
captivity. Obviously in the wild,
Wild, no.
3 to
No.
4
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
And
Aw.
fur farms, like they usually kill them in the first year.
Oh.
I know, it is horrible. Huh? Hi, Victor. Hi, buddy.
He just wants his treats.
Do you want to try to
That's-
play with your pig a bit?
He plays. He's on demand to treats.
He likes treats.
Yeah, I
Like
don't know
any
of
other
any,
animal.
canine that doesn't like that.
Right, and especially foxes, you can train them to do just about anything
For a treat?
for a treat.
Yeah.
There is no good fox, and they're like, they're just like, where's the treat?
So what would happen if
Pavlova.
you got out?
You take off.
Yeah, he would take off.
Would he survive all right?
Nope.
No.
No.
No,
No, because he's probably not
No,
used
he's
to
never
that.
had
No.
to do anything on his own.
no, for crying out loud, these guys like sparkling water. With blueberries in it.
Yeah,
wow.
they ain't making it.
No,
Wow.
Oh, they're just a little spoiled then, huh?
just a little spoiled. I remind them about their Russian days.
They probably don't miss that at all.
No, they had to stand in bread lines and milk lines to get their food, and now they're asking for sparkling water.
See, Vic used to love this pig. So usually we bring him a new toy and it's good for a day, and then they're like bored of it.
Then they're bored of it,
But
yeah.
but he actually was going on about 8
Like
weeks
the
with
pig?
pigs.
So he
And
liked that for a while.
Well, he destroyed it in a day, but then we get a new one, and
Right.
but now he's sick of the pig.
Yeah.
Said I need
He's
a
done
new
with
one.
them. He needs something new now.
He clearly isn't interested. that
No,
much.
I was amazing. Just
No, he's
weeks
got
ago,
it.
he was completely crazy.
Enamored with the pig.
first time we took it away from him, he like sat in the corner and pouted for the rest of the day.
He did. It was so sad.
Bring me back my dog.
I mean, he literally faced the corner over there in the middle of an encounter and just sat there. He was so
Oh,
upset.
poor
We took
Victor.
the pink pig away. And so then we had people donating pink pigs because he would ruin them within like 15 minutes.
Right.
The squeaker would
They
come out.
chew the crowd. Oh, yeah. Even the little teeny Yorkie, and you had the squeak. They get the squeak toy right out. I'm
So
like,
where'd
I
you
had to
go?
grab it because otherwise they could swapple it
Right.
and they get hurt.
Yep, and they would, yeah.
Oh, how beautiful.
Gorgeous color.
This is McHale.
Aren't you pretty?
So he's a color you can find in the wild.
You can't?
You can, yeah. It's called melanistic.
Nice.
So
Don't be
he's still a
giving me
red fox, so the species is the same, but sometimes this would be called a silver fox, even though they're
Ah.
both red foxes.
Aren't you
He
pretty?
too likes treats.
Okay, I can see that.
Aren't you pretty?
Oh, McHale.
So he's also one of our Russian foxes. So he came from, so the Russian, Dave, will you tell them a little bit about the Russian program since they don't
Yeah, we don't
know
know
about
anything.
it?
Well, about 60 years ago, a geneticist in Russia was trying to figure out how exactly dogs came to be from wolves, because
Right.
they knew they did,
Yes.
but they didn't know why it would have been that, probably 15, 20,000 years ago, man would have taken a wolf, which would have been, we would have been on the dinner list of wolves
Right.
at that point.
Yeah.
Why would we have taken them into our, why would we have tried to do something with them other
Right.
than stay away from them? And
Aren't you
so what he was thinking was he was wondering how quickly, if someone were to breed just for tameness, how quickly could you actually change the personality of the animal.
Okay.
So he started with foxes, which were essentially wild. They were from fur farms, so they didn't live in the wild, but they were never was there an attempt to breed them for tameness.
Yes.
And he took them and he tested thousands and thousands of foxes and found the ones that were the least afraid of people, and he only bred those together. And then on the next year's crop, he looked at all of them and tested them, and
see
then
which was-
and then did that over and over again. And after about 10 years, they started to notice that some of the foxes actually got some. Are you going to eat
Yeah,
that?
he's
Yes,
gonna
he
eat
is.
that.
You're a bad dog for that. And so now, 60 years later, they have foxes that about 99% of them are just naturally more tame
Yes.
than your standard fox would be. Like, you know, it's not typical for a fox to come out in a ring of strangers and
Right.
just like stand here and it's like, and this isn't trained behavior. He's not trained to do this. This is just naturally what they do because they're much less, they're just much less
He's not even
reactive
our ninja.
than your typical fox would be.
Right.
I thought it was a bug or something at first, and then it just kept getting bigger. I was like, what? Like, what the heck is
When
that?
they've tested them, they've actually found they have more serotonin in their brains. Now,
Yeah.
serotonin is this chemical that if you take like Prozac, you get more in your head.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they're naturally on Prozac all the time. So they're just real kind of happy-go-lucky,
You don't care.
hippie fox. We call them hippie foxes.
And they
'cause
have
they're
less
just-
cortisol,
Those
so
big
they have a less of a
ears.
stress response.
Yeah, yeah.
So they don't have that intense fight or flight that you see. So you can tell everything about a fox by their ear placement. And you can see these guys that all have their ears up.
Yes.
When Dave brings Ishii out, you'll see her ears are
To the side.
to the airplane ears, yeah. And that's just because these guys are comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like, I mean, we didn't get them until they were a year old and they lived on a farm and had no socialization.
Oh.
So if you think about, you know, when you bred
They're
your
pretty.
dogs,
Yeah, they're cute.
if you actually just had them in a room, in a building,
Yes, no.
by themselves for a year,
Wouldn't work.
wouldn't work. And yet these guys, we didn't get them until they were a year old.
It's
and
hot.
That's exactly how they were.
You can't
And
resist
they're no different
You know you
now.
can't
I
resist.
mean, they were friendly with us. They don't have any food aggression. No resource guarding with us.
Well, you know, when I was up in Canada, I was walking up the path, and everybody in the yard went, "Oh my God, there's a fox! There's a fox!" So I started walking, and the
Hey,
fox
bud.
actually started to follow me, and
Yeah.
I'm like, well, "What the heck is that all about?" And my two girlfriends, they ran in their trailer. I go,
They're
"They're going,
afraid.
Jenna, what are you doing?" I go,
It's a fox.
but I said to myself, it's following me. I said, maybe. And then I found out there was a lady, I guess, who had rescued a couple of them babies. And I said, well, maybe that's why. I go, it didn't, I said, they're not supposed to be out of date. They could have rabies. I'm like, oh, whatever. But it was following me up
Yeah.
there, and it looked very healthy.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, it probably wasn't rabid. I mean,
No.
they're opportunists, so they
Yeah.
learn pretty quickly that
It
people
was,
will feed
yeah,
them.
but it was
and-
just
Oh,
weird. But all of a
sure.
sudden it started following me. I'm like, my gosh. this
And up there, we
crazy
feed
fox.
them everything,
Silver
everything.
one's a little bit scarier looking.
Yeah, sometimes people think he looks like a ninja
Like
fox.
if you saw him in the woods, you might think,
Run for
well,
the
going
hills?
The other way.
But he's actually the sweetest, and he's actually the pink pig I actually got for him because he's the
Okay.
toy focus fox. But he's also the one that eats all of the toys and then has to go to the emergency vet and get it
Right, get 'em
surgically
removed.
Oh.
That happened to my dog.
Happened to
Had to have
Yeah,
the
we
stomach
first-
out, put it in, take it
That
out,
was
put the
awful.
stomach back in. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it a toy or was it?
It was a
It was a lot of
whole
things.
bunch of
Whole
stuff.
bunch of things.
Plastic
Wasn't
bags,
just one
toys,
thing.
tennis balls, you name it.
I didn't know when I first got him. I never had a big dog, and she gave me a whole bunch of toys for him, and she's supposed to be a dog person.
Yeah, but it was your fault.
And he ripped
I
it
got
apart.
blamed.
Great
And
job,
and then
Grandma.
a plastic bag must have closed the other part, so all that was building up.
It was awful.
Yeah.
Felt so bad.
And he was just a puppy,
Oh.
so he didn't have a big enough anything to pass all that. And
Oh, now he comes out.
paid
Yeah,
that
that's
money to
great.
get that out.
Yep, Mikhail had
Nice.
his. He ate his
Huh?
bed after having it for 6 months
Oh
in
my
his
God.
enclosure. One day he decided to eat it, and
Aw.
so he went to the emergency vet, and $6,000 later.
Right,
Yes, we know
that's
it's
about what mine
expensive.
cost too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's, see, like,
Yep.
you know, he's small. He doesn't have a big passage for if stuff gets in there to come out.
There's a local place here that has an Arctic fox, and they actually had an obstruction in theirs, and it was a great.
Oh
Can you imagine?
God.
Oh,
grape.
that's those aren't good for
little.
canines.
Right, but that's
But they're
because
little.
it swallowed it so quickly
Whole.
and whole
So-
that
that he.
Couldn't
the-
digest
it
it.
couldn't digest it.
Time.
And foxes have a really fast GI transit time, so it doesn't spend enough time in the stomach to
break it
digest.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so and there was no breaking down his green bed, so
No.
No. My cat loves that kind of toy. Goes nuts.
Oh, you're just.
Is he playing with your toys?
Here you are,
Your toys?
Victor.
Is that
What
your
you
toy?
doing under there, bud?
Hi.
What do you got there?
He's waiting for his time to attack the toy.
so we can't leave this here for him because he eats
He'll eat
everything.
it. I knew you were going to say that.
But
Hi. Did you think I had a treat in my hand?
look at him stop.
Yeah, he's like he's stalking it.
So this is very kind of like cat-like behavior.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I
That's
like
how
to.
they hunt their prey.
Oh, there's Victor.
That's how my. I'm just saying.
I like
it
to
reminds me of
describe
my
them. They
cat.
have the build of that of a dog, but they have behaviors that of cats sometimes.
Look at him, just like I was waiting to pounce on that thing. Pounce on that thing. Oh.
Ha. Mikhail, look what I got. Come on. He's like,
I like that other thing better right now.
yeah, he does. He's like, I know there's not a mouse under there. We've done this before.
I know it's only.
Yeah, I'm not dumb.
It's a stick. Huh. Victor's just going to lay on
You're
it.
just like, I'm just coming
Why
by.
don't
I'm just gonna come lay on this.
Oh, there
So
goes
did
your
they
toy.
come from the same litter?
No.
No.
The 3 Russian foxes we have here right now are
Don't
not
wanna share it.
related. We have the first 2 we actually imported. They actually had the same father, but not the same mother.
Here's a question: are they neutered?
They are. They actually come sterilized. Although when we were getting his bed out of his intestines, I got a call from the vet place, and they said they think they feel a testicle maybe in the. They didn't call it the jumper, but I call it in the jumper, right? Like ready to come out. So did you want us to remove that? And I'm like, can you push it out? And they're like, why is she asking us that? I'm like, it's a Russian fox. Can you push it out? And they said, well, it's not going to be viable. So we had them remove it. So when they neutered Mikhail on the farm, they clearly didn't make sure that they took 2. Now,
Right.
Dave has a theory on that. Why is that, Dave, that they didn't get both of his testicles?
Well, I mean, it's Russia. They drink a lot of vodka.
Hey, bud.
Right? So it's like
Hey, Mikhail.
they were saying double anyway. So they got one. They thought it was 2. and-
Was it maybe an undescended testicle?
Yeah.
It probably.
That's probably
is
what it was.
Yeah, but you should still know that there should
Right.
be 2.
Yes,
Right.
not just one.
And
Right.
go look for the other. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
but I
in
mean,
They
there.
have to be trained to see 4.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
He's having fun with the pig.
You're trying to get into the pig.
That's what he's not supposed to do.
Yes, I'm trying to get into the pig.
Right. I think the squeaker's already removed from that one.
Well, I would
Yeah.
think that's a good idea. Really?
Well, no, he removed it.
I'm sure.
But we watched him and made sure we
Yeah,
took
we
it
just
away from
take
him.
it, get rid of that little squeaker.
Yeah.
So the toys you see in here right now are the toys that they haven't been able to destroy.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're bored with.
Right.
So that's why they're still here.
Yeah,
Is
that's why
because
they're laying here.
they had them for their day or whatever,
Yeah.
and then they're done with them. Mikhail's underneath there.
He's
Just
cool
say
under
you're
there, I'm
still
sure.
hanging out under there, aren't you, bud?
Oh.
Look how cute he is.
Just passed out.
I think I'll follow you.
Say it's hot in
And
here.
he's like, uh-oh. Is he going to get that one U.S. fox? The crazy
Oh,
one?
You don't like her. She's from the U.S. We're
from the
Russian. Give us a
US, yeah.
break.
You don't like those
Oh, isn't
American.
she's beautiful.
Yeah, see her
So
ears?
this
But
is
look at the ears
this
out
is
to the
issue.
side.
So she's a U.S. fox. So
No.
I know you got your ears down. Look at your. She hates when I mess her hair up.
She looks so cute, though.
So generally, it's best not to reach down for itchy.
This
It's
one.
not that she's going to bite; she's not going to attack anybody. But
Right.
they're just a lot more unpredictable. The
Okay.
U.S. foxes
I don't have a problem.
compared to the. But she
But
does
she's-
like to come for the treats. Though,
She's
so-
quite beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone knows. Itchy. Itchy.
You can see that, her kind of origin is much more closely linked to the fur farms. Her
she
Yes.
has this
coat is
long
much
hair.
more
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
luxurious and
Oh, her tail is absolutely gorgeous.
They all
Has
are
that
for
got
that
a
matter.
name, her color?
It's called marble.
Marble?
Yeah.
I didn't even know they came like that. I know I've seen the silver, but
It's not in the wild, so this is a color that, what
the
happens
farm?
with fur farmers is they get a new color and they think cha-ching, cha-ching, and they
okay.
continue to
Okay.
backbreed and
Yeah.
inbreed.
Kale's like,
until
I
they
didn't get many, you know.
get, like,
You
they
didn't
have
pass them
colors
around
called
like the
pink
other guy. I know, I saw what you were doing.
lavender, snow glow,
crazy.
platinum.
Sit. Come on.
Who-
I'd
what's
like
he
to
do?
do a pyrography
Trying
of the house.
A what?
Biography. Burning on the, they does it on
Wood
the wood.
burning.
Wood burning.
Oh, you do wood burning?
Yeah,
And wood
Oh,
carving.
Wood carving.
Well,
too, yeah.
burning too, but
You should take her picture so you could do that.
Hi, pretty.
I think I could get it good enough.
Of Brian's video, and you can
pass-
take it right off Brian's video.
Let's say, pass the
Yeah, I can just take a screenshot.
Okay, so that would be awesome. That would be nice for your show.
Oh, you came right past me. Oh, you're so soft. She's soft as can be.
Ooh, I'm gonna stand up for you.
Hi, beautiful.
Hi,
You kind of look like Rocket.
Are you?
The markings around your eyes.
Yeah, from the marble.
Come
So,
for a
yeah.
scratch.
Sometimes we tell people she's a raccoon fox.
Yeah.
We're all about education here.
Oh, look at how pretty. all
I'm not a
different
raccoon.
colors.
All right, fine. I take that back. You're a trash panda.
Yeah.
Is,
We do
What
call
is-
her our junkyard fox at times.
Yeah.
what is that? It's
Yeah.
worse. It's so much worse.
There you go, Ish.
Everybody's like, we're getting in there.
Hi, beautiful. You feel when she goes
I don't
across
know.
your leg how
I know.
soft she
They're
is?
so soft.
The sea dam. I don't know if I can get that in.
No, you can't. It's too
I think
big.
so.
You can't.
Here,
You
no?
can see it when
no.
she comes out. Dad, you're going
No,
to
it's not going through.
How about on the side here?
Hi. No.
Probably
just-
over
yeah.
that one there.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
there you go.
Hey.
Oh my gosh. Those are beautiful.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be lovely.
Wow.
And all three of them be nice.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
true. Yeah.
Well, you already have one of Ishy right there. That little the raccoon. Wow, those are amazing. How do you do that? You carve it and then you burn
No,
it, or
that's
these
done
are the
with
burns?
just
Burner.
you know, like a wood burner.
Mm-hmm.
And,
A hot pencil.
Yeah. And variable heat control, so you can shade and that.
Now, do you draw it first?
I get a
Victor.
picture.
Okay.
Victor, you're
And
being
then,
pushy.
with
Yeah,
graphite
that's what
He's
I
a
do.
greedy
Okay.
boy.
Okay.
Oh, he's,
yeah.
he's
He
like,
sees
my
the
pig's up
pig
there.
up there.
Oh.
Think you're gonna keep it away from me, do you?
So Victor's a little unique because most people, when summer comes, they try to get like bikini speedo ready. Victor does. He thinks that means gaining weight
Yeah, there
for the
you go.
summer. So every summer he gets pudgy, and then he loses it in the winter,
That's
and then the
weird.
summer comes
Weird.
around, he gets pudgy
Hello,
again.
beautiful.
So I'm trying to get a
Hello,
speedo that we
pretty.
can put on him. So we can take a picture. Do
So you
have
can
any-
remind him it's too tight.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't want to go.
Yeah, no, just go back.
Oh, hello. She smells in and out, I guess.
But
Victor,
That looks like an
you're
arm.
being pushy.
Yeah.
He would just eat that whole bag
Good.
of you.
Oh, I see it now.
Going through a lot of treats.
It's a dog. It's like a lab.
Luckily
a
they're
lab.
small.
Oh yeah, that's one I did for friends. That dog died like 5
Oh.
years ago. And I wanted-
Oh, look how cute! It's a little. Is that a squirrel or a rabbit? I
Well,
think it's a.
it's a rabbit, I think, because
Hi.
the lady that did the first one did it with short ears, so I think it was a squirrel. But
Panting, you poor boy.
There's a little bear.
Hi, pretty.
Yep.
That's a cute. Oh yeah, here's a bunch of them. Then
yeah, I think that's all of them that I
rabbit.
put. We have a show in Charlotte in February, and
Victor?
that was what I got together for that
Oh
show.
wow!
You have to sit.
So are you gonna do a huge one for us here? A big
I will
old
do one.
box?
I will.
That would be awesome.
If
Yeah,
I
it would
could
be.
get all three of them in one, that'd be good, right?
We definitely have plenty of photos of them all together.
You
Well,
do?
then
Oh,
send
God,
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be great. Yeah.
That would be absolutely
Yeah.
insane. It would be insanely amazing.
Now I'm a slow
Yeah, he's
slow
not
artist,
fast.
so I can't tell you when. But,
Yeah,
He'd work on it.
yeah.
We'll
I
put you
know
on our
that.
schedule for 22?
Yeah,
or-
something like that.
You got it.
when I carve, all my animals are fat because I'm afraid to take all
Too
the
much
wood.
off.
Okay.
So Victor, So
He'd be fine.
Victor's gonna be how he looks
The
in the summer.
biography's different when he's carving.
It's carving.
He does. His
Yeah.
feet are big. Everything's big. He doesn't want to make a mistake, so he tends to stay fat.
Victor, we actually had, so there's a
Poor
guy who came
Victor.
out. He does these. He's a painter in San Fran, and he does these big, huge life-size ones of like elephants and gorillas. And he contacted us and said, "I'd like to, my next one's a fox. Can I come out and take a photo? I heard you guys. It's really easy. Blah blah blah."
I think I got a picture of a fox.
And so we, so he came down from San Fran, and he was taking photos of Victor, and I asked him that when he went to do the painting, could he please?
Oh, that's
Victor
not
would
good.
like him to trim them down a bit. And
A little airbrushing. A little airbrushing.
he said no.
That kind of works for all of us,
Uh-huh.
really. Airbrush me a little bit, would
Airbrush
you?
me. Like literally airbrush me, yeah. So, but he does these paintings, and he has a gallery, and then he sells
That's
them,
pretty
and
cool,
It's pretty
yeah.
cool, yeah.
Yeah.
So Victor's going to be on that one.
That's nice.
And we asked him, he puts toys all around it, like all the toys that represent that animal. So it's a really interesting concept. And so we had him promise to put the pink pig in there.
That's nice.
Is she? What pig is she?
What has she got?
She has a pink pig.
Yeah.
The other guy went on the show.
Yeah, she was like, don't be taking my pig.
Don't you even is she?
She's going to bite you.
She's awful pretty.
She is pretty. But she's the only one that bites us.
She's awful spoiled.
Nice of her to do that to you, right?
Yeah, is she? That's not nice.
We have a rescue red fox we got her when she was about 5 months, and she is tiny. I call her a little mini fox. I mean, just totally tiny. And she routinely, she comes up, she'll just do anything to bite you. She's getting a little bit better with us, but we have a trainer that works with these guys that works at the San Diego Safari Park as an animal trainer. So we brought Libby in. The first thing Libby did what normal red foxes would do, is cower around to the corners, and then she came up behind her and bit her in the ankle and
Oh,
ran.
jeez.
No.
And it took her like 3 weeks to the point where she wasn't
Looking
being
to do that to
aggressive.
her,
So
yeah.
when the trainer came in to meet these guys, literally she came in the room. We brought one of them out, and they came right up to her and said, "Okay, what do you want me to do?
Aw.
What do you want? You got a treat? I'll do it." It's quite surprising, and the differences between the behaviors of the
Right
Russians.
between my
was-
legs.
Well, she should have came in with high boots.
Yeah.
Protect herself.
And of course, she's like, "Oh, I don't care."
Hey, no, you're so beautiful. Those pretty eyes.
You do have pretty eyes.
Yes, they're beautiful. They stand out on that black face.
They do, and his eyes tend to be they're more round than like the squinty,
Yeah.
and he has a little bit of a wider face.
Yeah, it's different. It's not as narrow.
So he actually does look a little bit more wolfy.
He does.
Yes.
He does.
And look at his paws; they're huge.
Yes.
We've been around it. In Charlotte, we have a place where you can do encounters. We've done tigers and wolves, and
Do we know that?
And the little Joey as well.
right. We've had that. We had the baby giraffe. What else did
Oh
you say?
yeah.
Yeah, Lima. Yes,
Where's
they
the
would.
conservator center? Is that there? Where is that?
I think that's North Carolina.
North
Yeah.
Carolina. That's what you're talking about, right?
Probably.
Yes.
Probably.
Because is the place that you go? Is that the one that actually had a lion
Yeah, a baby.
or no, a lion that actually
Oh.
killed an intern
I don't think so.
recently?
I don't think so.
That was
What are you
earlier
doing?
this
You
year,
smelling
wasn't
me? Yes.
That was what?
it? Wasn't that earlier this year
Yeah.
or late last year?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's where we were.
They actually have singers there. That's why.
Okay.
So they have a
Leave
Yeah,
Michelle
this is
alone.
probably
Leave Michelle
different.
alone. Leave
Yeah.
Michelle alone.
Then,
Leave Michelle alone.
but they bring in all baby stuff, and oh yeah, that little tiger was grabbing on him. Like the lady was doing whatever with my kids. I'm like, hey, he was like, he was playing, but still I was like, oh,
The tiger plays.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
So I could be doing this,
or not? 'Cause-
and she looks
turn
really.
around and just
She'll
nail
just
you?
turn around and
Just
nail
nail
me.
you.
And she's really quick with it. So she just, I don't know what it is. It's like a bug gets up her butt or something, and then she just, look at all the shedding.
That's what's happening.
Hmm.
She just turns around and bites you. And it's not like she, like those guys, like if I touch their tail, they'll give me a dirty look and
Yeah,
walk
but
away.
they won't turn and bite.
They don't know. And if I actually make them, like if I'm trying to do some grooming on him, and I make him stay there, and he's like, I hate my tail being touched, he'll turn
Yeah.
around and mouth me, but
Yeah.
it's not like he's, you know.
Oh, that's right. That was on your thing that they don't like the tails touched.
But her, she would just nail you. Nail you good, huh? Look at you. Look at my
Say,
hand.
I'm shedding my coat.
Good. We were waiting for it. We were wondering when you were going to. Huh.
Look at her little tongue sticking
Is her
out.
little tongue sticking out?
Cute.
Little blep.
She is just, she is. So, you should have seen her as a baby.
You're a
I mean,
spoiled
must have been
American.
adorable.
That's what it is.
amazing.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And, you know, we
Girl.
took her to Comic-Con
I don't want you to do
and
that.
Salt Lake.
Whoa.
Hey.
Oh.
We're just gonna get. They get.
Wait, you
fresh
took
like
them to
they had.
Comic-Con?
And the Salt Lake City one, I took her. So she was really socialized. Dave trained her. So, but yeah, she's still.
Well, I'm laughing because see how you were rubbing her and all that stuff, and you said, "My cat will do that to
Yeah.
me." All of a sudden, just turn around and nail
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
for no reason at all. I'm like, really?
Like little jerks, huh? Huh? Yes. Except for, see, they have actually sharp teeth like cats, strong teeth like dogs.
Yeah,
So it's
it's worse.
Ishy.
So this was baby issue there.
Oh my God! You know what she looks like right here? She looks like a Siberian Husky.
Here's
Yes,
a
she
wolf
does. Look at
body.
her.
I
She looks
can't
like a
find it
Siberian
right
Husky baby.
Oh, could you
Isn't that
just?
adorable?
now.
How
I take
cute.
lessons from the
Oh
lady.
my God, that is awesome.
That's like my favorite one. I love
Uh-huh.
that one. Yeah.
Aw, little Ishy.
That is
You're an
amazing.
adorable
He
little
loves the
girl.
wolves. My husband
She's
loves wolves.
right
Yeah.
behind you, Mom.
Here, when we have our grand opening October 5th and 6th, we're going to have wolves here.
Oh
For that.
God! Right.
Well, we'll be in
Oh.
the East Coast, so that'll be hard.
Yeah, I go back to Long Island, right? Not long after this trip. That's where I come down to
We,
North
we
Carolina.
can all tell where you're from.
Yes. You think you can? We come down here for the winter, and then we go back up to New York for the summer.
Oh, wait, you come to
Not they live in North Carolina. I'm a
Yeah.
I've been there
snowbird.
26 years.
Yeah, she's been here a long time.
Okay, so but you guys came out here
Right, for
My
his
grandson's
graduation
for his
present.
graduation present.
And then he found this, and we luckily
Yes.
slid in today.
Here. I know you're not supposed to, but
Look at how long he is, how cute.
Sit here.
They're twins, these two. You probably can't tell, but they are.
Oh.
They look nothing alike.
So they're from the same litter.
Dude, guys are from. He like shook his head. He's like, oh.
Yeah, right.
He does that a lot.
No, I could totally see. But
Mhm.
obviously, they're not identical.
Yo.
Being boy and girl.
Oh, listen.
Now, how old are you two?
14.
14.
Almost 15. August 2nd, they'll be 15.
Wow. And so you just graduated high school.
Yes.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And what will you be doing now?
Well, I mean, I'm currently going for an associate's degree in liberal arts. So it's really kind of like a mix of everything, really, because I'm not still entirely sure what my goal is, but I think I may have an idea as to what I might try
He's
to do.
actually going to spend the next 2 weeks at Exceptional Mind Studio in Sherman Oaks,
Okay.
where it's a program for, I think he's like 18 to 26 or so for for young adults on the spectrum. Ed Asner is very involved in his family.
Yeah.
And they train them for computer animation or special effects. Some of them have college degrees and then go there to spend 3 years in a vocational school for it. They train them how to how to get the jobs. They also try to help get them jobs and stuff. So
I assume that the children on the spectrum there will run the whole gamut of the spectrum, or do they just use
I don't
the more
know.
high functioning?
I would assume it's
Yeah.
the more high
Yeah, I
functioning,
would
but
think so too.
Yeah.
obviously they're trying to help who they can.
So that's one of the programs that we are very interested in starting at our center is working with children on the spectrum. Obviously, we do have a lot of people who come here that are on the spectrum. Probably about 35-40% of the people who come here
Yeah.
are. And so, Dave, will you share a little bit about the research?
Well, with the Russian domesticated foxes, when they first started working with them, they could just see behaviorally they were different. But nowadays, they can actually look at their genetics and to see not only why they're different or how they're different, but why is it genetically they're different. And so, one of the things they've actually found is some of the genes that make them more social are the same genes in people on the spectrum that are somehow affected. And
Right.
so, it's almost as though it's this.
It's the reverse.
It's the reverse, exactly. And so that potentially enables them to look at potential therapies and that kind of stuff.
Right.
But even more, it seems like my nephew he's on the spectrum and he just doesn't do well with people, both animals. He's wonderful.
Oh, they're wonderful
And-
because
and that-
they don't judge them.
And so that's kind of a really common thing that we find, and so I mean, they can really make a difference and find ways to use that to bridge into social interactions with people.
Yep. Yep.
And so
Yeah, he went to a middle school for Asperger's specifically, and they brought in therapy dogs every week, and it's wonderful for them. I mean, it's just wonderful, especially at that time, middle schools when they're really showing to society.
Will you take the pink pig
issues.
away from him? He's chewing
He's
the.
having a party with it. I know.
Yeah.
I'm watching him.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, and they found the amazing thing is so one of our first programs that we developed here that we're obviously going to try to get funding for is a Read to Dogs program for kids on the spectrum. And there have been some that have looked at using a novel stimuli as a motivation to increase not just reading comprehension but learning social skills. So like they use dolphins on one of them. So
Right.
what we like the whole canine Canid connection. And so one of our programs is that we'll start with regular shelter dogs, and then we'll move up to the singing dogs, and then move up to the Russian foxes. And so as they build their social skills, social bonding skills, they'll move up higher, and then with
To the reward.
the reward being to interact with the Russian foxes.
Well, I mean, he has the same thing as these guys. If his brain floods because he's upset by something, there's no calming it down until the brain rinses it out. You can't talk it to death. You can't, you have to wait 24 hours or whatever. That's just, all those chemicals, they just get flooded by the same things, and you just know that's it. You can't.
That's it. Yeah.
Brain is different for everybody, but you start to learn, okay. Oh,
It's such an
wasn't that
exciting
noise?
time.
Did you hear that?
He's yelling at Ishi or someone.
She's looking at his pink pig over there.
His tongue is gonna lick your leg.
Leave my pink pig alone.
Where'd the pink pig go?
I have no
I got rid of
idea.
it. I threw it
Okay.
out.
Oh, that's right. You threw it. No more
Yeah,
fighting
they only,
over
yeah,
the
they
pig.
only get.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
Is she?
What you
You're gonna
doing,
put a hole
girl?
through the door. She wants to go home.
Leave me alone. I'm going
She's
back in.
yeah. She's like
Okay.
She wants to
these
go home.
boys bug me.
And it's funny, she knows where to go too.
Oh, she's in.
Oh,
You got to know by yourself, is she?
They're really smart, you know.
Yes, they are. Unfortunately.
yeah. Foxes are very smart, so.
What isn't that? As sly as a fox.
We like to say clever as a fox, but
Okay.
we had one run. We have a fox that doesn't really. Well, a lot of foxes will climb, like you saw Victor do.
Yes.
And so it always has to have a roof. But our one
yeah.
fox wasn't a real climber, so we had her in an enclosure that didn't really have a good cover on it, and she never escaped it. And then one day, all of a sudden, we had a perimeter area, so she was in that perimeter area. And she got out, and it's like, how the heck did she get out? She doesn't climb. And so I went and put her back and stuff. And then what I found that she did is she took, we have litter boxes in like big Home Depot tubs.
Yes.
She grabbed it, drug it over, flipped it over on its back, climbed up on top of it, and then
jumped
jumped out. Yep.
Ah.
So she was in there for like 8 months just thinking, okay,
How can I do
Right.
this?
and then one day it clicked, light bulb. And so, because I put it back and then I left the room and I immediately came back in and I saw her doing the exact same thing.
Yep.
So once they figure something out, they got it forever.
Yep.
It's like teaching them to use a dog door. Usually with a dog, you know, you push them in and out of the dog door 8, 10, 12 times and it finally clicks, dog door, I know this. And that may not transfer to a different dog door of a different size or shape. With a fox, it goes through a dog door once, it knows every dog door in the
It's
world.
in there.
What,
Yeah.
what it's for. how to
Living
use
by
it.
pictures.
Yep.
Yep.
And like you move something, so like one time it was raining, so we moved this bench and they came in for the encounter and they just stop immediately because they know something's been moved and they're like, something's not right here, and they will look around and then figure out what it was that was moved. But they don't like changes in their environment because they have to inspect it. They're very curious
Poor
about it.
Victor. He's like, I'm fat because I'm in here seeing all these people and you're giving me treats.
Victor.
What do you give them from normal
Kind of
food?
like
Dry dog kibble and wet cat food.
Oh, how do you like that? Okay.
And then they get like supplemental.
I am
like
half dog,
chicken
half cat.
livers or
Right, yeah.
hearts or, you know, Ishii,
Stuff that they would probably eat in the wild.
yeah, Ishii likes cucumbers. I don't know if she eats those in the wild, but she's the girls like the cucumbers, the boys don't, but they'll eat blueberries. So like in the summer, and I'll probably start doing this next week, is I bring frozen blueberries, and so that's what
Yeah.
they get as their treats. Because it also helps Victor, because
You keep them slim.
for his Speedo.
So as we go down and out, there was places selling strawberries. Are they actually still fresh grown around here, or?
They are still
Okay.
fresh grown.
I wasn't sure if they were out of season. I don't want to stop and get snookered
yeah.
into some
Some
strawberries from somewhere else
They
that
usually
aren't
let you
good.
taste one. So I would ask to taste one.
We're gonna go up and hit Oxnard and all that area.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's, I know the last time we drove through there, it was just strawberry field
yeah.
upon strawberry field, but it was a couple of weeks earlier, so 2 years ago. And we did almost all of California
Oh, you
2
did?
years ago.
So you drive, yeah. Tomorrow I'm actually
Up
taking
in a Humboldt.
the train up to Ventura, so I'll wave to you guys.
Okay.
oh, look at that.
Oh, he's like, no.
He's like, nope.
Not today.
Oh, it's a baby.
They're really good kickers.
Yes.
Yeah, clearly.
He's like, you're embarrassing me.
Don't be doing that to me.
You're making me
What
look
about
like a
you,
little
Victor?
boy. I'm
What
a
about
scary
you,
man.
Victor? What about you, Victor?
He's like, I don't know. You got a treat? I'll think about it.
No, he's like, oh, I think I'll tell
He's a
him.
little
Oh.
Just like,
burr.
Yeah.
That's Dubby, right? You can lay with him for a while, and all of a sudden you put your hand right back in the same place you had before, and he goes, "Arr."
Yeah.
Luckily, they always have an itchy armpit, so you scratch their armpit.
they can't get there, I guess.
Brer Rabbit and Brer Fox.
Victor, you like your armpits being scratched.
He's so funny.
Oddly, they also love their ears being cleaned. So most
Really?
dogs don't really like that, but these guys like line up to
They
get their
do.
ears cleaned.
That's what I do, like, every day, clean their ears, and they just, like, fall in love.
That's pretty awesome.
Is there a functional reason why the tips of the tails are white?
So they can probably see their parents and follow.
That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
usually with dogs that are like more pack-oriented animals, they'll see that as a signaling mechanism. Now, foxes aren't, but it could be like, for younger ones that
Yeah.
allows them to follow them easier. Like especially in tall grass, because they can
Couldn't
put their
see.
tail up
Right.
and just wave it,
See it.
and then you can see that.
But, like, coyotes don't have white tails.
Coyotes don't.
Wolves don't.
But like the singers do.
the singers do. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what's speculated as far as the singers is so that they can signal.
I think the
Right.
bobcats have that.
Well, the bobcats don't have much of a tail. They have a really short little tail.
Yeah, that's.
They have the white on the back of the ears for that reason.
Yeah, like the, what are those cats that, the caracal,
Right, yeah.
cara something, they have the little
The fringes on
Yeah,
top.
fringes.
on their
Yeah.
ears. Those are cute too.
What are you doing there, mister?
Hey.
Yeah, Mikhail keeps his buddy trim.
Not you, Victor.
Not you, Victor. You're too gluttonous.
It's like, but you love me and you give me a lot of treats.
I'm like Victor,
It's
give
not
me the
me.
goodies. Heck with the food.
I'm
You want
an
all the
ambassador. I'm
treats.
getting a lot of treats. What do you want from me?
I'd rather have a treat.
Same with me.
It's like good stuff.
Yeah, cakes, cookies.
Yeah, right up my alley.
I found shade.
Oh, lucky you.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm
Oh.
fine here.
Well, you can go.
No, I'm good.
Plenty of room.
I like the sun. I don't sit in it that often, so.
In New York, you don't get a lot of sun,
Oh
huh?
no, yeah, no.
No, they
but
do.
I
She
can
just
get it-
doesn't go in it.
it's like,
She's
you don't
she
wanna
likes
get
to
more than
keep
10 to
herself
15
in the
minutes, I
shade.
tell you.
Yeah.
It's not good for you.
But
No.
it is good to get your 15 minutes. You get
Yes,
your
you need your vitamin
right?
D.
Absolutely. That's why I do it. Down in North Carolina, I go out 10, 15 minutes and sit out, and then I go back in.
Yeah, I can see.
Oh, Victor.
He hates his tail. But look, I mean,
I
come on.
know.
It needed to come out.
Come on.
And especially when he's shedding, it's like crazy. And I have to sit there and try to get all of the little
Yeah,
buzz
that can't be
balls
so easy. Especially if they don't like it.
Especially, yeah, he doesn't like it. The other ones don't seem to mind as much.
Victor, if he put that bag out, you'd
Yes,
glutton
you would
yourself to death.
Yeah.
So one of the first, when we first brought them from, when they were imported, we had them in our place in Utah. It has a big basement, and they had an enclosure in there. But we had a hose in there too, you know, to the spigot and a
Right.
nozzle thing. And at any rate, we came down in the morning,
Get
and we walked in there, and there were 3 foxes jumping around. There were puncture holes all throughout the hose, so water was spewing
my God.
everywhere. And
Oh,
they had
no.
managed to get into all their treats, and so they pooped everywhere.
God, what a
I mean,
mess.
it was such a wet,
Mess.
poopy mess.
Oh, Lord.
With treats, I mean, there was not one treat left.
No, that's what they would just eat it to death.
And they were so happy running
Oh
around.
yeah.
Chewing on the furniture.
Talk about the serotonin. They was
Mhm. Having a great time. Huh?
I
See?
suspect Victor initiated it. He's our troublemaker.
Although Maxa is the one that can get out of. She knows how to like lift up the thing. I mean, she
Yeah.
learned that right away, and so she's more clever, I think. But women tend to be. So
One of
yeah.
one of Victor's favorite things to do during these encounters, especially as it gets warmer, is he sneaks around the back of people, lifts their shirts up, grabs their undershorts, and gives it a tug, and then runs away.
Oh, my
So
God.
we keep an eye out if he
Make
goes
sure
behind.
he's giving people a wedgie.
Yeah, that's what he
Yeah, I
does.
was just about to say, he's a wedgie giving boy.
And so people are either like mortified that they just got a wedgie by my fox, or they say I can check it off my bucket list because
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
got a wedgie
Never
by
had
my
that
fox.
done to me.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a story I can tell.
Hello.
Well, it's got to be better than getting an actual wedgie from a bully, so.
Right?
This is
Yeah.
true. Coming from a fox would be funny. From a bully, not so much.
yeah, well, Maxa picked up on it, but her problem is when she does it, she pulls your panties and she runs with them. So that's even worse.
Oh no.
Yeah. So at least
It's
it's still
like I
attached.
saw you take that out. I'll take it. If he doesn't want it, I'll take it.
Victor, you're too gluttonous.
Victor.
You're lucky those little treats are tiny.
He just
Yes,
keeps
because forget
wobbling.
it.
Mm-hmm.
He just keeps going.
Yeah, he just doesn't.
No, I know. I'm body shaming you, huh?
It's like, I'm not liking that.
So we have Sophie, which you haven't met, but this is what Sophie, people, because these guys are pretty quiet, but this is what Sophie sounds like all the time. She's not even upset, but this is just Sophie all the time.
Aww. Those cute little noises.
So when she gets more, that means somebody walked past her. She's like the big old diva. Like, she literally comes out and she's like, I'm gonna sit in that corner over there, and if anybody gets within like 4 feet of me, I'm screaming at them. But then she'll roll over and be like, play with me, play with me.
Oh my God, that's funny.
And then Victor will come over when she's nice and calm, finally, and sleeping, and he'll bite her in the butt. And then he runs, and she gets like roaring mad, screams, and we're like, Victor, come on, you know what she's gonna do. And then she whips his butt, and poor Mikhail always tries to play with her, and she just, She's just
Not
loud.
interested.
She is loud. She is just very loud.
Would you like to get your picture holding Victor?
Sure.
Huh, she looks beat up. Huh.
Looks like
She looks scratched.
Yeah,
on
she
her
did that to
side.
herself.
probably scratched the hair out of her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Say, I got chipped. I didn't get any treats.
No.
Here you go.
Now, is she Russian or no?
She's Russian.
She's Russian.
Yeah, she is. She's actually one of the sweetest of the foxes. She's a cuddler.
Oh, well, that's neat. Cuddlers are always nice.
Yeah, she definitely will cuddle. It's just she's
having
not
a
looking.
bad time.
It's just she's not looking so good.
I know.
Poor little girl.
Poor thing.
I know. So we put some stuff on it, and then we have to get Victor from licking it off.
Oh, God, sounds like your
Victor.
dog.
Yes.
I know. I put on the nose softener and
Uh-huh.
he just licks it right off.
Yep. Huh. The rest of them are in there, hanging out with their litter box, sleeping in their litter box.
There you go. Yeah, the lady from Villalobos, from what I've seen on TV, man, that woman's got to have major vet bills. My Lord, when she takes them, oh my God.
All right, guys, that's gonna do it for the vlog today. I got about like 45 minutes of footage, and I'm gonna have to do quite a bit of editing for this one. But thank you guys so very much for watching, and
Been locked.
Dana?
that was one of the greatest moments of my life. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to stay tuned for more. Until the next video, peace out, all my minifigs.